very good in terms of what we find.
Clint, I mean, you hit on the fact that the Secret Service and staffing has been an issue. It has consistently been an issue. Interviews with former agents and in an NBC News review of government documents and reports revealed that there is an agency struggling to retain agents and keep pace with the threats. That's what the Secret Service is. And so what can be mitigated here? Like, what can be done? Because I think that there's two things on the table. One, it's what happened in Butler and who's going to answer for that from the Secret Service perspective, and how can they prevent that from happening again? And then there's a question of, well, what resources does the Secret Service need to adequately do its job? Because they are protecting all of the living former presidents, all of the current president and vice president, their families. Like, this is an extensive apparatus here on top of the other duties that the Secret Service does.
Yeah, just in terms of staffing, I mean, it does not explain why that building was not in the perimeter and not secured. It just was I think we'll find out that that's a failure. But across the board, you're looking at the number of current and former presidents, plus all of the candidates around the country, and particularly violent times. If you just rewind the last 5 years, there are more threats likely to any and if maybe all candidates nationwide. That's just going to put an increased demand overall on all law enforcement to protect these individuals doing activities as part of their campaigns. I think the second part of it is the outdoor versus indoor dynamic. You've already heard a lot of discussion from the Secret Service about how hard it is to secure outdoor locations and keep the principal protected. And this all came at the time when the RNC was probably the principal focus of the Secret Service during that time leading up to when President Trump was shot. So you add all of that together, it is really a perfect storm for something to fall down and fall away. And I think that's what we're going to find out in these hearings is there's just a lot of priorities, a lot of moving pieces. And this was, a situation where they really didn't adequately secure this and probably didn't have the resources to do it.
I am struck, Clint, by the rare bipartisan nature of the calls for this hearing. This is from the New York Times, a statement by Raskin and Comer.